welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. New revelations emerge at House of Representatives probe into reinstatement of former pensions boss Abdul Rashid Maina in the Federal Civil Service. Senate rejects nomination of Ahmad Mahmood as the resident electoral commissioner representing Zamfara on the grounds of state of origin. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo asks Gulf of Guinea Commission member states to renew political and financial commitments. And Zimbabwe authorities grant ousted President Robert Mugabe and his wife Grace immunity from prosecution. Just a quick reminder now that for more on our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. And you can also watch us on the go on your mobile device. Log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. The Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature, with which you can share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and then follow the instructions. Let's take a look at some of those pictures that you sent into our Eyewitness portal. We can begin with this one showing fallen electricity poles. Our Eyewitness reporter sent it in from Isaac Borough Expressway around the Green Villa Junction, Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital, and he wants help to come quickly to prevent a tragedy. We also have one from Adeni Street in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, also showing fallen electricity poles. Eyewitness reporter calls for prompt attention to this. From Abak in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, is this image of a flooded street. And according to our Eyewitness reporter, this is what the residents face during the rainy season, and they want an end to it. Finally is this photo from Apulegba here in Lagos State, showing a broken portion of the bridge there. According to our Eyewitness reporter, the bridge was constructed recently, and he wants the government to ensure that projects are well executed before they are commissioned for use. Thanks a lot for all the pictures that you sent in. Niger Delta leaders are calling for unity in the region and for the interests of the people to be upheld while portraying federal character. And this was highlighted by Chief Edwin Clark, who was speaking at the General Assembly of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum in Delta State. The proponents also highlighted the need to sustain peace and development in the oil-rich region.
Federalism, the distribution of power in government between a central authority and the constituent units. That's the definition most dictionaries go by. But in Nigeria, there's an argument for true federalism to be practiced. It begs the question, what is true federalism in the Nigerian context? Some in the Niger Delta believe the answer lies in resource control. At this meeting in Efurunwari of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, attended by leaders, indigents and stakeholders, Niger Delta leader Chief Edwin Clark makes a case for the region.
Why is it now our turn that everybody is laying hand to what we have? If they allow us to manage it, and let us say, all participate. I want everyone alone to manage it. Don't participate. You won't mind. How can you appoint 9 directors of NNPC? 6 of them are northerners. They don't produce oil. As far as they are concerned, they are very different. They are government.
And to sustain peace, the Pan-Niger Delta Forces Congress has deferred to the leadership of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum.
We feel that it will pay more if we come together. So it's beyond PNDBC or PANDEV. What we're interested in is Niger Delta and the development of the Niger Delta. A house divided cannot function well. And so we have collapsed and come under the umbrella and the leadership of Chief Edwin Clark. And everybody has learned his lessons.
The way forward seems to be unity in the Niger Delta, so stakeholders can speak with one voice and advance its cause at the federal level for the good of the people and the country.
The United Nations has released its 2017 State of the World Population, stating that 43% of pregnancies in developing countries are unplanned. At the launch of the report in Abuja, the United Nations country representatives observed that there is a strong correlation between girl-child education, women reproductive health rights, and the existing income gaps between men and women in developing countries.
Officials of the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, as well as government representatives are all seated in this hall. As the country's deputy representative for UNFPA launched the 2017 State of the World's Population Report in Abuja. The report, which focuses on the reproductive health rights of women, also draws a correlation between these rights and the inequalities that exist between men and women in most developing countries.
The main focus of the report is to make the case that while income inequality in itself is a serious problem that policymakers everywhere should seek to rectify, there are other forms of inequality associated with income inequality that also deserve the urgent attention of policymakers. For example, countries with high level of income inequality are usually countries with high level of inequality in education and health, including sexual and reproductive health.
According to the report, 12.8 million adolescent girls in developing countries have unmet demands for family planning, as 89 million pregnancies, representing 43% of total pregnancies, are unplanned. The report also draws a correlation between unintended pregnancy rates and the increase in poverty and reduced prospects for women in developing countries. Officials of the United Nations identify some solutions to the problem.
What are the efforts that are being made by governments to actually understand that the reproductive rights of women is not only a right, but what do we need to put in place as an affirmative action to ensure that this right is manifested, supported, and adequately budgeted moving forward? Here we are calling for affirmative action. Affirmative action for what? And what I simply mean reproductive rights of women. I think it's a long time we have been looking at it as a human right, no doubt about it. But what are the actions we are taking to prioritize it?
We need to make sure that girls go to school. Girls and boys, actually, but girls are lacking behind. The reason is when we get them married before 15, they drop out of school.
As part of its recommendations, the United Nations report advises developing countries to, as a matter of urgency, develop legislations that protect the reproductive health rights of women.
Now, teachers in Edo State are asking the State House of Assembly to reject a proposal that local government councils should take over the payments of primary school teachers across the country. Their protest is a reaction to the recent clamour by the National Union of Local Government Employees for local government autonomy.
Teachers from across the 3 senatorial districts of Edo State on a peaceful march in Benin City, the state capital. Singing solidarity songs, they head for their destination, the Edo State House of Assembly complex, also in Benin City. that say it all about their position on the ongoing legislative work on local government autonomy in Nigeria. At the State Assembly complex, the leaders of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Edo State, take turns to highlight the purpose of the rally to this official of the House, as the leadership of the House was said to be unavoidably absent.
If you are a speaker, who got you? If you are a PRO, who got you?
We want to say that the teachers in Edo State and in Nigeria in general are not against local government autonomy. But what we are saying is this: local government can be granted autonomy, but the salary of the primary school teachers and the management should not be left in the hands of the local government. When local government were asked to take charge in the payment of teacher salary in this country, many states could not even meet up. That is the local government. Some local government were owing teacher salary for up to a period of 1 year. Do we go back to that era?
The bottom line of your protest is that you don't want local government to take charge of your salary. So it is noted and it will be conveyed to the leadership of the House.
Having passed across their message, the teachers depart with the hope that their representatives in the House will understand the reasons for the body's stance and accede to their request.
And back here in Lagos, as part of efforts to ensure sanity on the roads, the Lagos State government has arraigned some alleged road traffic offenders. The defendants, who were picked up by men of the Lagos State Task Force, were arraigned today before Magistrate Amos Olajuwon of the State Special Offences Mobile Court. Their offences include driving against traffic and obstructing other road users, and they're said to be contrary to provisions of the Lagos State Road Traffic Law of 2012. One of them pleaded guilty, and the court ordered that his vehicle be forfeited to the state government, while 7 pleaded not guilty. The mobile court has fixed December the 7th for trial.
The Lagos State government has demonstrated this afternoon is just to enlighten members of the public and let them know that the government is very, very serious about the enforcement of the Lagos State Road Traffic Law of 2012, particularly that of the section that goes against driving against traffic in the state. And you could see that 8 of them were arraigned today. They were caught along Lagos-Ibadan, Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway yesterday around 5 p.m. And there have been constant series of complaint around that taxes, another part of the state, in which the Lagos State Task Force has a bank upon now to be impounding vehicles found either on the driving against traffic or contravening any section of that, the Lagos State Road Traffic Law of 2012.
When the news at 10 returns, diagnostics service provider Pathcare Nigeria enters into partnership with Europe's leading diagnostic service to improve efficiency of medical testing. He joins us.